Hi, it's me, Gabby, your American English teacher from GoNaturalEnglish.com. Imagine that you're just getting to know someone, you're in a conversation in English, maybe with a native speaker, and they ask you, what do you do? And when you tell them what your job is, you pronounce it wrong and they don't understand you. Or worse, they understand you, but they don't really take you seriously anymore because you can't even pronounce your own job title. That's a problem, and we're going to fix it today in this free English pronunciation lesson. I've noticed that a lot of English learners, even advanced level, have problems pronouncing careers. And this is a very important part of our lives. We spend most of our waking hours at our jobs working, so we should definitely be comfortable talking about our careers. So I'm going to help us out with 25 of the most common and difficult to pronounce career titles, and I'm going to say them at least twice, so I invite you to repeat after me, and I'm going to add some notes about how to pronounce them correctly. I'm not going to talk about what the careers mean or what is involved in the role and responsibility of that career. That's something that you could look up if you're not sure. So let's jump into this English pronunciation lesson together. Oh, and if you are learning English for work, you should know that the waitlist for my complete English course is now open. You can get information about the course and learn how to join at GoNaturalEnglish.com/pre-reg. I'll see you there if you're serious about improving your English. The first career for us to practice is accountant. Accountant. The important thing here to note is that the second syllable is stressed, and that means that the other parts of the word are weak. Accountant. Accountant. Also, note that the T in the middle of the word is almost silent. That's because it comes after an N. It's very common for North American English speakers to mute a T when it comes after an N. We'll see another example of this, so keep watching. Administrator. Administrator. Again, let's focus on the stress here. Administrator. We actually have a big stress on min and a secondary stress later in the word. Administrator. Administrator. Professions often end in an sound. Even though they're spelled O-R, it sounds like E-R, and this can be a difficult sound to make. Make sure that you're rounding your lips, sticking them out, and your tongue is in the middle of your mouth when you make this sound. Administrator. But be careful that you're not stressing this sound at the end of the word because it is never stressed. Administrator, not administrator. Now, a lot of medical specialties are really hard to pronounce, so I'm only going to include a few of them here, but one that I think is really fun to practice for pronunciation is anesthesiologist. Anesthesiologist is not pronounced with the typical TH sound of th or v. We actually have a T sound here, even though it's TH. Anesthesiologist. There are many professions that end in GIST, and that is pronounced gist. For example, archaeologist. Moving on, someone who designs buildings is an architect. Architect is also an interesting spelling because we have the CH, but it's not architect, although that's an easy way to remember how to spell this career. Architect. We have to stress the first syllable. Next, one of my favorite professions, because they make good food, is a chef. Be careful because people often misspell this as chief, but chief is very different than chef. Notice that with chef, the CH sounds like an SH. It's a soft sound, chef. And with chief, we have a hard CH sound, ch. But I suppose you could be the chief chef, but that would be really hard to pronounce. Next, consultant. Consultant. It's not such a difficult one, but we need to stress the second syllable. Consultant. Customer service. Remember to put the stress in the right place here. Customer service. Customer service is a department, not necessarily a career. So we would say, I work in customer service, or I'm a customer service representative. Now, representative is a more difficult word, and we often blend sounds together when we speak quickly and say representative. Do you hear the difference? Slowly, representative, and quickly, representative. Do you remember what I said about a T that follows an N? In the word representative, we have that spelling. And so many fast-talking North American English speakers will cut that T out. And it sounds like representative. Representative. Another example of a T becoming muted after an N is a dentist. Some people will say the T, dentist, but some people, like many North Americans, when we speak quickly, we really mute that first T that comes after the N, dentist. Next, designer. This one is not too difficult, but we have to remember that the G is silent. Designer. Next, doctor or physician. This is not such a difficult one to pronounce, I don't think, but the stress again is very important. Doctor is easier. Physician is a little more difficult. Physician. I used to teach English as a second language to a wonderful group of students who came to the United States to study to be engineers. They were going to be either chemical engineers or mechanical engineers. Engineer. The stress is on the last syllable here, which is rare for English, but engineer as a word actually has roots in French, which often has the stress on the last syllable. Engineer. Another career that has roots in the French language is entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. I think this is a beautiful word. What do you think? Do you think that there are certain career titles that sound more beautiful than others? Tell me in the comments if one of these sounds especially beautiful to you. Which career do you aspire to have? Or which career are you already working in? Tell me in the comments. Financial planner or financial advisor. An advisor is like a consultant, and they have the stress both on the second syllable. Lawyer. Do you notice that I don't say lawyer? If we just had the word law, L-A-W, that's how you'd pronounce it, law. But when we talk about the career, it's lawyer. Lawyer, not lawyer, which is a big mistake that a lot of non-native English speakers make, because looking at the word, you would think that it sounds like lawyer. But English is funny like that, isn't it? A lawyer is also called an attorney. Attorney. Next, for short, we might say IT, but if you need to say it all the way out, you would say, I work in information technology. Information technology. Now, the word information is interesting because it's actually not information, it's information. Information. And another quick tip about the word technology is to avoid pronouncing all of the vowels the same. English words can be difficult to pronounce because even though you have the same vowel, like an O in technology, we pronounce it a little bit differently. We don't say technology, we say technology. So we have A and both O's. Technology. Technology. And let's compare that to the O's in information. We don't say information, we say information. So we have and both spelled with O's. Information technology. Next, nurse. Nurse. It's not nurse, it's nurse. Almost like an ER sound. Nurse. Manager. You might add manager to many of these titles. You could be a nurse manager, or you could be an accountant manager. So you could be a manager of just about any kind of department. Be careful to pronounce the G correctly in manager. J. It's not your, it's a harder G, not hard as in g, but a little bit harder than many of you are saying this. Manager. Mathematician. Mathematician is a beautiful word, but it sounds like a very difficult career to me. Mathematician. A better career, in my opinion, is a teacher. Teacher. Be sure to say the CH correctly. Many of you say it too softly. T-shirt. It's not t-shirt. That sounds like a t-shirt. I am a teacher, not a t-shirt. Teacher. Teacher. Real estate agent. Real estate. Real is stressed and estate is not as stressed. Real estate agent. Psychologist. Psychologist is a very interesting word to spell because it looks like you would pronounce it psychologist. So it's not like that at all, is it? Psychologist. Software developer. Software developer. Statistician. Statistician. A statistician works with statistics. Remember the stress and it'll help you out. Statistician. Surgeon. Surgeon. Orthodontist. Or if we're speaking quickly, orthodontist. Remember how those T's can disappear after N's. Now, sometimes you don't want to say your job title, but you want to say the field that you work in. So remember, you can always say, I work in, and then the field. I work in marketing. I work in education. I work in sales. I work in human resources. I work in construction. I work in healthcare. And so on. So tell me, what field do you work in? What is your career? Did this help you with your pronunciation today? Let me know how it went. And thank you again for watching Go Natural English. Be sure to click on the big red button to subscribe so you don't miss another excellent English lesson so that we can continue to improve little by little, day by day. You're doing a great job, so don't stop. Let's keep going and have an awesome day. Bye for now.